What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dab Name on the building. I got a very special guest. He's an entrepreneur. He's a CEO. The new P. Diddy. Give it up for Kidd Klutch Productions. How you doing, brother?
I'm glad to be back on here, Daniel. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Good to have you on here. So, let's get into it. So, we got a very special topic today in the building. We got talk about two of them. One is the unfortunate, untimely death of Mr. Young Dolph, the famous rapper who got killed in Memphis over while buying cookies. Just tragic. And then we got another situation with the Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty verdict, as well as we're going to talk about a little bit of the Ahmad Ambury situation with the comment that the person made about we don't want no black pastors here and how that situation is going. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Mr. Kidd Klutch, I want to talk to you about the young Dolph's murder and untimely death. What's your thoughts about this tragic accident, brother?
Well, it's just something that you got to be speechless about because it's a damn shame. And I saw Charlemagne. He posted gave the killers that killed young Dolph. He gave them the donkey of the day, but I'm gonna go a step further and call them killers. That's too good for them. They cowards.
Mm-hmm.
They killed the rapper that helped the community. He was just passing out. I don't know if it was turkeys or what, but he was passing out food to his community 2 days before. And correct me if I'm wrong, 2 days after, they said it was his schedule that they was going to have his annual turkey giveaway.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, I believe so, yeah.
So I just say it's a damn shame. I think as a community, it's just sad because it's like rappers and even just any entertainer or business person that made it out, they want to give back to their community, but it's like it's scary that if they go back, they're likely to be killed or harmed.
Yeah, but that's very same community they're trying to help. They're trying to help and build a community, and then you have these two jealous people going out there and killing. I'm gonna call, like I said, these two Negroes, jealous ass Negroes, going out there and killing them. It's foolishness. It's all about. I feel like that mentality that they have is I gotta get mine mentality. Oh, you successful? How dare you? You supposed to be struggling and stuff. If he was a struggling rapper, they would have loved him. But as soon as he got successful, oh, they hate him now.
And I think that's the thing too. I like it. I'm glad that you said that because if he was an up and coming rapper, they wouldn't have had the problem with him. But the fact that he made it out, they're jealous. And I think it's a cowardly move to shoot somebody with their back turned or to fight a person with their back turned. And that's the problem with the community is that it seems like, and I think you and I was talking about this a couple weeks ago, is that I've always said it's a shame that black men, they're more disrespected. They're the most disrespected species in their own community than any other race and nationality. And it's a damn shame.
Yeah.
When you have black men strong black men that's in the community trying to do stuff, people don't want to respect them. It's a damn shame. And the thing I want to say about this is that I was reading up on different cases about rappers that got killed, and most of them got killed in the city that they came out of, their hometown.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And it says we had this whole racial reckoning for the last 50 years, and even last year after George Floyd died, and I'm like this. And people get mad at me when I say it. It's like, how are we going to preach for people to respect us if we're not respecting ourselves and our own people within the community? we're killing each other, but you want to tell police don't kill us. You want to tell other races don't kill us.
Yeah.
And it's like you basically sending the message. It's open season.
Yeah.
And it's like, when the hell are people gonna start standing up and holding cowards accountable for this? And I don't want to hear nobody, because I already know what's coming. In a couple of days, people gonna start saying, "Oh, the government plotted to kill."
Yeah.
Dolph, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Just call it for what it is. Let's call a spade, and an ace, and call a coward a coward. That's what happened. A jealous ass coward killed one of the prominent rappers. And another thing I have a problem too is when rappers die and people want to say R.I.P. and stuff, we have these ignorant fools, or what you say, these ignorant Negroes. They want to come out here and say, well, you ain't fuck with their music before that. Why you saying R.I.P. and all that? You ain't gotta fuck with a person's music to care.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta stop. There's just too much damn ignorance with this.
Yeah, like you said before, you gotta have the government coming out, people saying, oh, the government, the FBI has something to do with it. Those two people were informants and stuff, like with Nipsey Hussle. I remember people were coming out saying, oh, the government killed him because of the documentary. When it turns out it was a jealous Negro.
Yeah, this is what I'm understanding. It's like, how is it that all these people, all of a sudden, they become detectives overnight? You could solve a murder. It's like, we solving everything. What the hell we need to solve?
Yeah.
What needs to be solved is, how do we prevent this from happening to one of our other prominent rappers and entertainers, or just regular black people in general? How are we gonna solve the problems of the community if we're not working together on one accord?
Yeah.
And you and I, a couple months ago, and Keith, we discussed this very issue. Is that it's too much foolery going on in the coonery and foolery going on in the community.
Yeah, you got jealousy. You got people, no black businesses, nothing being built. Then we got leaders rising up in the community, or at least trying to do something about their current situation. These dumb, jealous Negroes kill them.
Yeah.
Instead of helping them and supporting them and believing them, they want to kill him because he made it out and we struggling and stuff. Well, maybe you should have listened to him and everything else, and then y'all wouldn't be struggling. You should have helped them, and that way you can build yourselves up.
And this is the problem I have too, is where people you have rappers that come out the community. They went to school with them. They had class with them. They probably, I don't know, they probably hung out with them or hung around in the same circles, and they get jealous. And it's like, they feel, well, this rapper sold us out to get there. No, they worked fucking harder than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to do. They had the drive and ambition to do it.
Yep.
You should have had the drive and ambition, and you would have been beside them to do it.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's these jealous Negroes out here trying to kill these rappers and stuff. It's just sad and pathetic. It's like, what's wrong with you? Like,
it's basically like this. It's a war outside that nobody is safe from.
Mm-hmm.
In the community.
You try to do something about it. You try to help people in the situation. They're like, oh, we're going to kill you and stuff. And it's just like, why? It's unnecessary. Lift him up. Lift up the black man. Stop trying to tear him down and stuff. And then if you get it out, oh, he a sellout. How is he a sellout? He giving back to the community. That's why, no wonder famous people don't live in their own communities. They get up and leave as soon as they make it. Because y'all keep killing these people that's trying to help.
And I remember I was watching a Breakfast Club interview, and Master P was saying about Nipsey Hussle. He was like, Nipsey Hussle went in his community. He said it's good, but Master P said something that he started doing. He was like, I had to, when I'm giving back to my community, I don't even stay in there long. He said, I go and drop the stuff off and I go, because he's saying it's not safe. He said you can still take care of it without being in there and hanging out in that environment. And and he said basically what you said is that a lot of these rappers, they get comfortable in their environment. They feel, well, I grew up here. Nobody's gonna do anything to me, so they let their guard down. and people just kill them senselessly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just sad.
Lizzie also was building his own businesses and giving people jobs and stuff to help work for his businesses and stuff. And he had a jealous Negro kill him.
Yeah. And what I want to know is basically, at this point, what do we do?
I feel like unfortunately we're gonna have to give back and not go back there. Or the second option is we gotta psychologically help the community, because it's a psychological issue and trauma, because it's all about, they have this I gotta get mine mentality instead of helping the group and helping the community. It's all about me, 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 me. What can I get out of it? Why am I struggling? Why and he's successful? Why am I struggling? Well, you gotta help work to protect black people's interests. You gotta have people who are interested in helping the community be like, hey, listen, we're gonna help the community and everything, and teach people how to help the community and help themselves too, because they probably feel bad about themselves. They feel like they're worthless and stuff, and that's how the jealousy comes in. They get mad and angry. So I'm like, oh, he's successful. Why am I not successful? What is he doing? Oh, I'm gonna kill him. No, you don't have to kill him. Learn from him. Lift him up and stuff, and then you'll be successful. Have him teach you what it took for him to get successful, and then you'll be successful. But no, they don't want to do that. They want to kill him. We gotta stop this. I gotta get my mentality. That's what I feel we gotta do.
And I agree with you on that 100%. We gotta shift from the me to the we, because I equate it to something Master P said too. He said, if you look at these white companies, these white, your Nike, Adidas, you go in New York City, those buildings, I've seen them many times walking through the city. Those buildings are right beside each other, and them people, they probably got beef and stuff, but we'll never know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not out shooting each other. They're not out on social media arguing with each other. They basically doing it through business.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta get smarter. And it's like this too. Why is it when it's black people, it's always gotta be a one? It don't have to just be one. We could be many of us. Mm-hmm. We can compete with each other. We can have a friendly competition, but at the same time, we got to build each other and not tear each other down.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, I don't know why when it's black people, when they're getting money, it's always they have too much money, or why do they need all this money, or when people automatically assume that when the person has money, they do nothing for the community, that they don't care about people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stigma that we gotta break. And I feel like if you look at last year during the pandemic, billionaires made, I think it was $7 billion extra just last year from the pandemic, and we don't hear hardly nobody talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
These are white men, but every time a black person they're making money, they're like, oh, they got too much money.
Yeah.
Why are they not giving back enough?
Mm-hmm.
They have all this money, but all these people are poor. It's not their job to do that.
Yeah.
I do agree that they do have a responsibility to their community to make the community better, but it's not their responsibility to have to take care of people.
Mm-hmm.
As far as on a day-to-day life, like I feel like too with black people, when they make it out, a lot of guys feel like they're obligated to take care of their whole block, their whole family, and it's like, no. I was watching Charlemagne show last night, and Kevin Hart said that. He was like, man, I don't feel good about that. He was like, basically, you could provide them opportunities. Like you can give them jobs and stuff at your business, or you can even invest in their company if they're serious about doing something like that. But I don't believe that as a society, black men should be taking care of grown people.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like like an aunt, grandma, mom, something like that, or sister, something like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like black men taking care of other grown men and stuff, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you look at it, even from not even a black man of wealth, people always put a stigma that black men that they don't take care of their kids, they don't take care of their families. But historically, if you look at black men, they took care of multiple people in the community, including their family.
Mm-hmm.
Even to this day. But I think what's missing right now is that we're better together than apart. And I think that's where we gotta bridge the gap to where I think what's gotta happen to stop this from going on is we have to just help the kids out.
Mm-hmm. Of the
We gotta
community.
start building schools
Yeah.
for black kids to equip them to have a better life. And even for their families, just build businesses. And we need to have financial literacy classes to help them.
Mm-hmm.
But also, too, while we do that, we got to hold cowards accountable that think it's okay to murder our black people.
Yeah, and don't even get me started with this whole no snitching nonsense. People be going, "Oh, I'm not snitching."
Yeah, everybody says no snitching until it's one of their family members and they want to snitch.
Yeah,
we can't think like that. If a person, you see a person, like stealing something, yeah, that's snitching. You don't tell something like that or just doing crazy stuff. But if you see people, they're hurting people in the community, they're killing people in the community, yeah, you got to say something about that.
Yeah.
That's what we just got to, I don't know, we live in a coward society, that's how I feel, in a follower society to where people think it's okay to just turn a blind eye to stuff that's not right.
Yeah.
And we just gotta stand up.
I definitely agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you on this, man. We gotta call them out, call these cowards out, call a spade, what have you. But let's turn to the other situation that happened this week with Kyle Rittenhouse and that trial and how that went down. Basically, the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, it ended with Kyle Rittenhouse getting not guilty on all accounts. What's your overall thoughts on that, brother?
Since we were just talking about cowards, okay, let's talk about this coward right here. I don't understand what this jury is. I think the justice system is this. It's two justice systems in America. There's one for people of color and one for white people. And people don't want to acknowledge it, but think about white America. They're seeing it for themselves now. They can't, there's no way they can deny it now.
Yeah.
There's two justice systems. But they still try to, we spoke about this a couple minutes ago on Fox News. You have them, they feed in the narrative that Kyle Rittenhouse is the victim. You're not a victim, you're a coward, and you're a murderer. And the problem I have with this judge, his name was Judge Bruce Schroeder. You would have thought this man was Kyle Rittenhouse's father or uncle, the way he was acting.
Yeah.
In my life, I've never seen a judge act this way toward any defendant. He did everything but adopt the damn coward.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. When the trial started, I already knew it was over.
Yeah.
It's not getting convicted. And they put the all white jury except for one person that was black.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, the judge referred to the one black person as the black.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, that's messed up.
And I think it's the biggest tragedy and travesty that's happened, other than the young Dolph situation. It's just showing you how much black people have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
It's you gotta deal with black people, you gotta deal with white people, you gotta deal with the system taking you down. You got to deal with unemployment, everything.
Yeah.
Incarceration.
Yeah.
And it's like, you really don't know what to do. Because it's basically what that trial showed yesterday is that it's open season on black people.
Yep.
It's saying, okay, if you don't agree with Black Lives Matter, you don't agree with black people, you have a problem with them, you feel threatened by them, you go get your AR-15 and you go and take matters into your own hands. And that's what this case showed, the ultimate sight of white privilege. And that's what people understand it. Because if you and I would have went and did the same thing that Kyle Rittenhouse would have did, we wouldn't have lived to tell the day.
They would have shot him down. Mowed him down.
This coward went and showed the gun to the cops after he shot 3 people.
Yep.
And then I want to address this before I forget. I was scrolling through IG this morning and I saw Michael Rappaport. He was bringing up the person's record. One of the people that was shot and killed's record, saying that he was a child molester and all this. And I'm like, Michael Rappaport is usually on the right side of these issues, but it's like this. What I just said is white privilege. He's taking a white privilege stance from his view of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying with white allies. If you're going to be an ally, act like an ally all the time. You can't pick and choose or use certain things that you can't look at things from your view if you're going to be an ally.
Yeah.
And I saw a thing with Tamika Mallory. She said, we don't need allies, we need accomplices. And that's what I really think with white people, they really going to have to prove themselves to black America, is that if you're talking about this, you're talking about you're going to be for the movement and you're going to help people, you got to be for the movement all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pick and choose which way you want to see it. You can't say, well, it was justified that the person was killed. That's basically what he said, what Michael Rappaport was referring to, that, oh, this guy was a child molester, he was this and that.
Yeah.
He deserved to be killed. And what I think about is this. Kyle Rittenhouse didn't know the guy was all this when he shot him.
Yeah.
So why would you even bring something up like that? It's dumb as hell, and ignorant as hell to even say some shit like that.
Yeah.
Because basically, this is why this even happened. This is why this is going on in the black community, is these citizens arrests and these white supremacists thinking that they can take matters into their own hands. When they don't like something, they're going to go and pick up their guns and they're going to handle it. Instead of you calling the cops, or you just stand out and mind your damn business.
Yeah.
And that's the thing people don't want to. I think the media has kind of failed. Mainstream media has failed at covering this case. Is that mainstream media is basically saying he was an alleged shooter. You ain't want no damn on both cases. Well, we're not getting to that case yet, but on this first case with the Rittenhouse, is that he was the alleged shooter. Stop calling him alleged. We all saw on camera what he did.
Yeah.
It's not no alleged. You the shooter. You a murderer. You a coward.
Yep.
And that's where I feel where media bias plays a role too in these cases, because if it was a black person, they would have crucified them before the day in court.
Yeah, they would say, "Oh, he got a criminal record. He's on this. He's on drugs. He's doing all this stuff."
I don't understand what Kyle Rittenhouse is. Why is his record not come up? And I saw a thing where the judge said you can't refer to the people that got killed by Rittenhouse as victims, but you can refer to them as looters and rioters.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with this system is that people are allowing white supremacy to rear its head out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
And people are not doing anything about it. And this is where I want to get to too. I want to talk about the president. President Biden You ran on being on fighting white supremacy. You ran on getting this George Floyd Justice and Policing Bill passed. So we won't have, and you ran on criminal justice reform, but I haven't heard a damn thing about it since you've been in the White House. About you passing it. And it's been 11 months since you got in office. When the hell are you going to do something? And the members of Congress, too, that are sitting by and letting it happen, where the hell are y'all? And that's why I want to challenge everybody, basically, because last year at this time, people were protesting, people were loud and proud, telling them that we're going to end this in America. There's been a change in America, but I don't hear that now. Everybody has gotten complacent and got back to business as usual. And this is what this case has told us, is that black people, white people, American people, we cannot allow this to happen anymore. We cannot sleep at the wheel. We need to stay up all the damn time with this. We need to shed a light on all the things that's going on. And we need to demand that we get justice. We need to demand that we get federal legislation that's going to prevent all this from happening. Because until we do this, it's going to keep happening. And the thing is, too, we got to stop allowing society to coddle white people, coddle their feelings. Yeah. Because it's getting fucking ridiculous. We're getting tired of it.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about, like, with the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, like, overall thoughts. My overall thoughts on this is this. He was a coward. He was a murderer. He shouldn't have put to jail, because the system had loopholes and you have crooked judges and everything else doing everything in their power to make sure that he gets not guilty. That's what situation you have. It's a system that's being rigged against black folks. Because if it was a black man did that mess, they would have locked him up, or they would have just shot him. They wouldn't even go through a trial. He would just been shot dead on sight. So I want to talk to you more about this, because it's sickening. It's ridiculous. And this whole thing needs to end. But let's go into the other case of Ahmad Ambury. You have people, the trial getting ready to be set up. And then you have people making comments talking about, we don't want no black pastors here. It's going to intimidate the jury. How's it going to intimidate them? They supporting the family of Ahmad Ambury and stuff. It's moral support. It's spiritual support. They say, oh, we don't want no black pastors here. What are your thoughts on this whole situation, brother?
I think when I heard that, it was just one of the most disgusting things I ever heard. But I'm not surprised, because it's basically what a lot of these white supremacists they're doing now is they're giving a green light to their people out there to, okay, take matters in your own hands. They're telling them, if you don't like something, you go take care of it. They're telling them, America, this is okay. Racism, they basically they gaslight you. They're telling you racism don't exist. They're telling you race is not that bad, and they're telling black people that we're the ones that keep bringing up race, but it's them that's bringing it up every day. Like you say, white black pastors. Why are you so intimidated by the black pastor? That's the question. If you did nothing wrong, why would you be intimidated by it? And I feel like I feel it's just like you said, that the system is basically, it's just hypocritical. Because on the other hand, if you have a police murdering a black person, you'll see his or her fellow police officers in the courtroom coming to support him. And people don't say anything about their influence in the jury. But when it's 100 black pastors, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a shame.
That's where I say the criminal justice system is messed up. But then again, is it really messed up? No, because if you look at how this country was built, it was built on the backs of black slaves. It was built on the backs of Hispanics, Native Americans. It was built on our backs to take advantage of us. But also, too, it was built on white people chasing us like chasing us like slaves to catch us and put us in our place and to kill us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all it. For those people that say this is not America, you telling a damn lie. It is America. Because historically, this has always happened.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, if you look at it, we was 3/5 of a human.
There had to be laws for us to fight to vote.
Yeah, and there's still laws that needs to be fought for. Police brutality, that's still legal.
Yep.
It's still legal to lynch a person, as we saw in the Rittenhouse case, and in this case too. And I want to call out these cowards. I want to call their names out that killed Ahmad Ambury, Travis McMichael, and this is the father, and his son is Gregory McMichael, and then their neighbor was William Ruddy Bryan Jr. And the lawyer that said he don't want any more black pastors, his name is Kevin Goff. Remember these names. What I basically want to say is basically we gotta stop coddling these white people. If you're gonna do the crime, don't get up there and cry when it's time for you to get your day in court. And act like Ahmad Ambury was going to kill you. How is he going to kill you if he's unarmed and there's 3 of y'all white men chasing him on a truck?
Yeah, y'all have guns, y'all have weapons. He don't have no weapon.
And I'm gonna tell you how stupid this guy was. I believe this was the son. He got up there and admitted to killing Ahmad Ambury, but also he said that when the prosecutor asked him, was Ahmad Ambury a threat to you? He said no. And when they asked him, I forgot the question to where they asked him, I think it was when they said, was he walking towards you or something like that? And I think he said, no. But what I saw on there, the prosecutor grilled him and it basically exposed, he admitted to all that stuff. And he was looking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what this is, we got to start pulling out the bullshit. I think what happens is with people, the way we can stop a lot of this stuff is start, when you see things, don't second guess yourself. Look at it and take it for what it is. And also, too, I recommend that black people, they get armed in these states where it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
They have the guns. And like they said in the Second Amendment, you have the right to bear arms.
Yep. And
I think you're going to have to get your arms and protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're showing you what it's about.
Yeah.
They're showing you if they don't like your Black Lives Matter sticker on your car, oh, I'm going to just shoot you. If I don't like what you protesting about, I'm going to shoot you. If we don't like who you elected, we're going to shoot them.
Yep.
We're going to shoot you. And that's what I want to go back to this because I believe when Keith and I was on here previously, I talked about this. This racist ass judge from the previous case, the Rittenhouse case, he's actually an elected official. And that's what people don't understand. He wasn't an appointed judge, he was an elected official. That means, and they said when he ran for re-election, he didn't have anybody run against him. We got to pay attention to that.
You know why they have anybody run against him? Because nobody probably did. They're either ignorant or they didn't care about it. It's only about the presidencies. And no, it's your district attorneys, your elected officials. You gotta watch out who you elect in office. Because I said this earlier in an earlier season that you gotta watch out who you elect in office. Because if you don't watch out, there'll just be racist judges like this.
Yep. And I believe I said this on my previous appearance on this show that we have to start getting more politically educated. We have to watch who we elected and watch. You have from state, local, international.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta watch who you electing, and you gotta hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, protest is the voice of the voiceless.
Mm-hmm.
But after you protest, you gotta do more. You gotta mobilize. You gotta demand justice. Because these politicians, they're not gonna do anything that you don't tell them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we have these racist ass judges like that because we allowed it.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kyle Rittenhouse because we allow it. Until we take a stand and start doing something about it, it's going to keep going on.
Exactly.
That's
So
that's why I go back to the president. He got elected to do these things, but he doesn't seem to be listening to the people.
mm-hmm. He seems like he don't care about the people, or he don't give a damn about black people. He just said, "I'm gonna use them to get in office."
Yeah, because look at this. They asked him at the White House yesterday, after the verdict, what did he think of it? And he's basically saying, well, that's the verdict. And I'm like, wait a minute. A year ago, you wasn't saying that. A year ago, you was talking big and bad, saying that Rittenhouse, he should have been in jail for shooting the people. Now, all of a sudden, your tune is changing. And it's like this. I'm tired of people saying, well, he only been there 11 months. 11 months, that's enough time for you to start doing some stuff.
Yeah.
We need, the president, he needs to sign some executive action between now and next month.
Because if he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, I'm gonna tell you like this: he's gonna be a one-term president.
Yep.
Because if you keep on dismissing the people and you keep on saying that, oh, that's the verdict, it is what it is, but you ran on criminal justice reform and everything, and if you keep dismissing black people, they're gonna dismiss you, and you're gonna be a one-term president.
And this is the thing too. This was a perfect opportunity for him to come out and say, "This is why we need criminal justice reform." And you didn't stand up and say it. And this is the problem too: is we're not gonna let these people in Congress off the hook either.
Mm-hmm.
That's not doing anything or fighting. For those that's not doing it, I suggest we start putting our money together and funding candidates that's gonna do the stuff we need to do.
Yeah.
Including the president. We need to start running some independent candidates that's committed to equality, that's committed to doing stuff for black people and middle class and poor people.
Yep.
And if they don't do it,
goodbye, basically.
they're out.
Goodbye.
You vote them out of office.
Yep, there's the door.
Also, too, I want to add to this is that with these people in Washington, D.C., y'all got to stop playing with black people's lives as political pawn. Because you're seeing the outcome of it.
Mm-hmm.
The blood is on your hands.
Yep, it is.
For those that, I remember the other day that they passed something. They passed a bill in Congress the other day. It was an infrastructure bill. And you had people, members of Congress, especially black members of Congress, jumping around celebrating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what are we celebrating for? And the demands that y'all ran on a year ago is not getting met.
Yeah.
The demands that the people have, they're not getting met.
Yeah, or it was Juneteenth, and they're celebrating the holiday. I said, great, it's a holiday, but what else? What are you going to do, sir?
Yeah. We didn't ask for Juneteenth. We asked for
criminal justice reform and the police brutality. That's what we asked for. When are you gonna stand up for black people and say we're gonna end police brutality and stuff? You ran on that, and you had a female black vice president, and then both of them don't stand up and do nothing. I blame Joe Biden more because he's the president. Kamala Harris is the vice president. I understand you're the vice president, you can't really do anything. But if you're the president and you ran on we're gonna end police brutality, we're gonna end criminal justice reform and everything else, and you talking big and bad, and then when it comes time for you to say something, you don't say shit. That's what pisses me off. Hell, he don't even cancel student debt. Let's talk about that too. He said he's gonna cancel student debt. He ain't canceling it. But he gonna give money. He gonna give money in reparations for immigrants. But he don't. When it comes to black folks, he don't want to do anything for black folk.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I'm so sick and tired of people saying, "Well, he just got in office. Give him time to get this."
We gave him time. We gave him 11 damn months, and he ain't do shit.
In 11 months, he passed a bill for Asian hate in Congress. I think it was in the Senate, 98 to 0.
Mm-hmm.
He passed for Asian hate, and then I just saw a thing with Native Americans just got land or something.
Yeah.
The other day they passed. And then I saw another thing to where the LGBT, they got an executive order.
Yep, and the immigrants. I saw something that they're going to give money to immigrants.
And that was the first piece of not legislation, but piece of executive order he signed.
Mm-hmm.
He got in office. I think that was on his first day. He was reversing the thing for transgenders. And reversing the thing. And let's get on immigration, too. You ran on reforming immigration and making it more humane. Why is it that we see Haitians getting beat with whips?
Yeah, like it's the good old slavery days and stuff. It's under your administration, brother.
Why is it the Haitians got deported when the other immigrants didn't get deported?
Mm-hmm. And you giving money to them.
Haitians get deported, but Afghanistan refugees, y'all giving them a pathway to citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's talking about with America. America is showing his ass.
Yeah.
And I say with black people is this. To those that say, well, why did y'all vote for him? Shut the hell up, because you're not doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that saying, well, give him a chance, shut the hell up. It's been 11 months now.
Yeah.
It's time to get the business.
Yeah, time to get things done. You say you're gonna get things done, you better get things done. And also, like when going back to what you said earlier about how people saying, well, why'd you vote for him? He wasn't gonna do nothing. Shut the hell up. You're not doing anything either.
Mm-hmm.
What was the better option? Trump? You thought Trump was gonna do? He wasn't gonna do shit. Mm-hmm. All that black plan he had. I looked into that plan. It wasn't gonna do shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I voted for the better option. That's why. And then now I'm calling him accountable. Like I said, I was gonna call him accountable.
Yep.
Earlier back this year, saying we need to vote and everything else, and we got him in office. I told people we need to hold these leaders accountable and stuff. We hold them accountable.
And I'm glad you brought up the vote too, because in some states, blacks are not even able to vote at high numbers. A lot of them are getting thrown off of voting rolls. They're not registered to vote now because there's voter suppression bills. So this is what I don't understand with the Democrat Party. If you expect black people to vote for you, how are they going to vote for you if their vote is not going to count? If their vote is suppressed?
Mm-hmm.
How are they going to vote for you if you're not doing a damn thing significant for them?
Yeah.
How are they going to vote for you if you're not keeping your word? How are they going to vote for you if they don't trust you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say with this is basically Democrat Party, they have failed us. America has failed us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for black people to start voting their interests.
Voting their interests. And also I'm going back to the beginning with Young Dolph's situation. Protect the community. Help the community and everything. And stop with I gotta get my mentality. We can't be talking about racism and the white man and the government and stuff. We can't even take care of ourselves and raise up real leaders to take care of our community instead of killing the leaders.
Yep.
So yeah.
And on our grip, if we're gonna honor his name, we got to make sure that his family gets justice.
Yep.
We got to make sure that George Floyd's name wasn't in vain, and we got to get these bills passed.
Exactly.
That they named after him.
Exactly.
And if we're gonna stop these lynchings, we need to pass this Emmett Till lynching bill
Mm-hmm.
and honor him.
Exactly.
It's time to stop talking the good game and doing something.
I agree with you on that. It's time to stop talking and start doing. So going back to the beginning in all these topics, Tyler, what are your final thoughts on this overall situations going on within the black community and within like the system in America as a whole? Like, what are your final closing thoughts?
Well, my final thoughts on it is that Black Americans and Americans as a whole, we got to do better. if we want to see the change that we keep saying we aspire to see, we have to make sure that it's done. And we got to hold white people accountable. We can't let them off the hook. For too long, they've been off the hook. And for what Rittenhouse did and what those three men, what they did, we have to stop calling that alleged murder. We need to start calling it domestic terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. We got to start calling it white supremacy. And we got to start calling it white rage. And that's how I'm going to leave it.
Yep. My final thoughts on this whole situation is this. With the Young situation, those dudes were cowards. We need to start raising up real leaders in the community instead of killing all our leaders. Second thing with the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, it shows you what America is actually all about and everything with the justice system and how they basically have a white dude getting away with anything. And with the Ahmad Ambury situation, honor his name by stopping these white supremacists and having them having Ahmad Ambury's family get justice and everything. That's my closing thoughts on all these topics and everything. And I just want to say, Mr. Kidd Klutch, it's been a pleasure to have you on here, brother.
Thank you for having me, Dale.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To all the people that listen to this podcast, listen to the Black Evolution. We're going to come out with more episodes in January. Listen to this outro music.